there was an accident right here. I'm not surprised about that at all.
And here we go, that was probably the worst police encounter on the entire trip. And now it escalated completely. Another officer came and tried to destroy my camera.
Oi, oi, I know that I won't go there.
This is a story about an old car and a stupid guy. Because the good ideas are usually the boring ones. What could possibly go wrong?
We had a few very, very relaxed days here. The sea is right behind us. And it's, well, basically almost abandoned hotel. Like, we didn't see a single guest all the time here. But it's very beautiful. Paid about €3.50 per night to be allowed to camp here. Now the tent is put back together ready. And yeah, we are leaving towards Douala today. Still buying insurance on the way. And see what else will happen. Yeah, the landscapes are truly amazing here. Along the coast of Cameroon. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, look guys, that's the first E34 I saw for a while. He's very abandoned. I already checked him out on the way here. I just look at him. Yeah, there's nothing really to save at this poor old car. Not many BMWs here. Actually, you don't see any BMWs in Cameroon so far, except for this abandoned E34 at the roadside. What's also kind of new is these umbrellas on the boat. Actually, the plan was to drive towards Congo today already. Well, I mean, still quite a road, but to head into the direction. But then Ludo, he's the father from the French family, basically, with a kid that we met already a few days ago. Well, actually quite a few times along the road. Texted me saying that they want to have a small hike towards Mount Cameroon tomorrow. It's like a day tour. The hike tomorrow means also that we have to drive back this road that we drove 2 days ago down the mountain. Now we drive up again towards Douala. And I have to say, I don't mind. I mean, this road is so beautiful. And now also with the evening light and a bit cloudy atmosphere, it's a whole different experience once again. So yeah, I'm not complaining. Same goes for Sophie behind me. Absolutely beautiful here. Yeah, same spot as last time. Totally different than 2 days ago. And absolutely beautiful as well. Cloudy, gray. Nice spot. But let's continue now. Yeah, small stop here. Back in Douala, I got some baguettes, some eggs. And look, that's the mountain behind us. It cleared up a bit. You can see it for the first time. Mount Cameroon, 4,100 meters high, I think. It's one of the highest mountains in Western Africa. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, needless to say, the time of supermarkets are over. I mean, there's probably a supermarket in the capital, in Douala, for example, but definitely not here. There's some small shops, but mostly if you want to buy something, you just look what you find on the roadside. And right now I'm looking out for avocados. So the apples are here, okay, and if we're lucky we'll find some avocados somewhere a bit later. Eggs, fish, many things, but no avocados. Let's go, get some avocados. See, if I think I'm only driving a car here in Africa, you're mistaken. Already passed over 1,000 meters of altitude. Hiking up a bit the Mount Cameroon, as already mentioned yesterday. And it's very beautiful because first we crossed a lot of rainforest and now the landscape changed and it's very open and beautiful. And it's steep. Okay, we made it to the end of our tour and I don't know why that shows us, but we're 2,300 meters, so we made about 1,350 meters of altitude, and I'll walk down a little bit again to have a nicer spot to have something to eat. Then here surrounded by trash in this ugly little hut. Yeah, heading back down, absolutely nice change to walk up a mountain. I had to walk a bit in general actually after driving so much, and it's absolutely beautiful nature here. So we had 2 nights at this nice camping, well, not camping spot, but at the office of the national park, and one is not really supposed to camp here, but they allowed us to stay for 1 night, and we stayed 2, and nobody really complained, so it's convenient. And now I just filled up the water. My legs are surprisingly good after the hike yesterday, and we'll head out towards Douala in a moment. I'm about to say goodbye to our French friends with this big sprinter, and then we're off on the road. Made it to Douala, and I have to admit I'm kind of annoyed and tired because the traffic in Cameroon is just absolutely annoying. It just makes me hate people around me. People just drive, they don't look, they're just absolutely reckless, like just driving in front of my nose, coming from nowhere, and then they're still looking at me in a stupid way when I honk at them, like, come on guys, seriously. Yeah, but here, this stretch of road is okay, so I have some time to film, but another way to get into nature, where there are not so many people, where there's not so much trash, where it doesn't smell so bad. Anyway, that's part of it sometimes, right? But for now, I'm really happy to get out of this stupid city soon. But, well, there's also a supermarket, so it's kind of neat, the city, so we're going to the supermarket now. And a pile of trash everywhere. It smells disgusting. People live in the middle of that, and I don't understand why. I mean, look at this. It's all trash, all of it, and it smells horrible. It's 35 degrees here in the burning heat, and everything, my God, it's full of trash. Honestly, this city is one of the worst since, I think, Nouakchott. I don't get what's wrong with this country, really. Look, just saying, some police guys, next to it, again a big pile of trash. Why? Everywhere. Yeah, after passing the suburbs, Douala got a bit better. Still not nice, but less horrible than before. And we're heading straight to Super U, which is a big supermarket. I think it's a French chain that might have some good food actually for a change. Because we're actually struggling lately to find good food, and I also had some problems with my appetite actually. I wasn't eating a lot and I didn't want to eat anything, and I think I just cannot eat the local food anymore, which is often very, very fatty, and also like the normal food is always quite sweet, and I cannot bear it anymore, so I'm struggling a bit. Yeah, so let's hope to find some good food here. Yeah, today is one of those days without any driving pleasure. I mean, look at that. Super full, so many mopeds. It is hot, it's like 35 degrees outside. Inside the car, it's probably quite a bit hotter. Looks like there was an accident right here. I'm not surprised about that at all. It's just a huge mess. I mean, my God. Let's hope we get through this, because it's always a thing. People just drive reckless and don't care, you know? It's like ignorant driving. That's how it's called. I'm always thinking like that, hope nobody hits Theodore, and I'm surprised it didn't happen yet, but yeah, I don't know. As long as it will go well here.
Ça,
Ouais.
le document, ce n'est pas correct.
Pourquoi pas?
Il faut l'original du document.
C'est dans le passeport. Comment le passeport?
And here we go. That was probably the worst police encounter on the entire trip. The police guy stopped me, wanted the documents. I showed him everything he wanted. Well, first I gave him a copy.
Ça, c'est le document original. C'est la même chose.
Oui.
Hein?
Il n'a pas fini
Non, c'est une
avec le
compagnie. Non, je le garde. Je le garde.
Also, at the same time, Leo,
Ça, c'est le
the
père.
son of Ludo, was sitting next to me. He was driving with me for a bit, so I didn't really want to behave too rough towards the police.
Votre permis est à l'intérieur, c'est où?
Le permis?
Ça, ici.
But he wanted everything, the passport, the driver's license. Next thing, he also asked for the insurance. It was clear he was looking for trouble.
Votre assurance, c'est où?
Non, c'est quelque part dans la voiture.
Faites voir l'assurance.
Il m'embête, hein.
But the worst thing is what he asked for next. Because the next thing he asked for, I acted like I didn't understand it, was a technical inspection of the vehicle. And that doesn't make sense, because if you drive with a carnet de passage through the countries, of course you don't go to the local technical inspection. It's a temporarily imported vehicle. The technical inspection is only for vehicles registered in Cameroon.
Visite technique automobile.
Hein?
Visite technique automobile.
Je sais pas qu'est-ce que c'est. J'ai jamais
Visite
entendu.
technique, l'état de la voiture.
Hein?
Il manque un document, la visite technique automobile.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
L'état de la visite, vous devez passer à la visite technique pour savoir
Non.
l'état de la voiture.
La voiture, c'est allemand.
Oui, il faut une visite technique.
Non, il
Même
faut
comme
pas.
l'assurance.
Il est bête. Visite technique pour la voiture, c'est incroyable. Maintenant, je crois que ça suffit. J'ai fait le problème avec ce mec-là.
And the problem was he left with my car documents, which is really bad, because that's one of the tricks they use.
Mon ami, je suis pas vous, sont moi mes documents.
Je n'ai pas fini, attendez.
Mais tu es fini maintenant.
Écoutez-moi, attendez. Vous filmez quoi?
Oui, vous. Donne-moi mes documents.
Patientez-moi, attendez.
Donne-moi mes documents maintenant. Vous n'avez pas de raison de garder mes documents.
Écoutez-moi, attendez.
Donne-moi les documents maintenant.
Attendez. Vous voulez me charger?
Les documents, s'il vous plaît.
Je vous demande.
Je veux voir votre
And now
carte.
it escalated completely. Another officer came and tried to destroy my camera.
Tu blagues avec casser ça,
C'est
t'es fou dans ta tête.
Lâche-le, 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 lâche-le.
T'es fou dans ta tête.
Lâche-le.
Vous n'avez rien cassé.
Lâche-le.
Après ça, c'est vous.
Lâche-le.
T'es fou dans ta tête.
Lâche-le.
On a le droit de.
Mais viens voir avec les gens.
Vous pouvez pas me tâcher.
On a le droit de.
Oh, là, allez voir, c'est notre. Filme, Sophie, prends-moi tout film. Filme-moi, prends une photo.
Monsieur, vous appelez comment? Moi, je m'appelle Ludovic.
T'es fou dans ta tête.
Non, je sais pas. Ça se dit pas.
Pas de problème. Suivez-moi.
C'est notre sécurité. On le filme. On le partage aussi.
Non, allons-y, non, montrez-le,
Ok.
allons-y.
C'est bon, c'est bon.
Première fois que je vois un contrôle,
C'est quoi votre nom,
on
monsieur?
demande
Non.
autant,
Oui, je vais reporter votre nom, hein, à votre officier.
Allez donc, alors dis.
Ah, bien sûr.
Oui.
J'ai les photos, j'ai tout.
Oui.
Il a les problèmes pour vous, hein.
Oui.
Parce que vous ne touchez pas les autres personnes comme
Allez-y donc,
ça.
alors. On t'a
Et
dit-
j'ai le droit de filmer tout le temps, hein.
N'est-ce pas? Je m'excuse par rapport à ce qui est arrivé. Hein? Voilà. Donc, je ne vois pas pourquoi on va s'enflammer pour rien, n'est-ce pas? Donc, je m'excuse pour tout le malentendu.
So what exactly happened? Ludo was quite genius and warned the police officers that I am quite good at getting police officers fired, since that happened in Nigeria already. So they calmed down and excused themselves for what they did. But basically the idea here was they tried to ask me for a document that they knew I cannot have in order to force me to pay them some money while holding my passport. Okay, woke up at this beautiful camping spot right at the seaside in Cameroon. And Sophie's moving her car because some locals have some problems with their truck, which got very stuck. And we're trying to help them to get their stuck truck out of the sand. It's standing right here, being very stuck indeed. But Sarah, the forerunner, is there to help. So let's go. Stop, stop. Okay, well, its first try was not very successful, but now the entire village is coming. Let's see if that works. Vous êtes prêts? Oui, c'est bon, c'est parti. So apparently one of the guys hit his truck while the truck fell down and is getting treated now by our French friends. And I'm sitting in my hammock. Very busy camp here. Leaving this beautiful spot at the beach, seaside, both of it. Let's look at it, absolutely beautiful. The race against time will start because we are a bit worried that we might get into the rain season. So I have to hurry a bit actually to get through the equator, through the tropics, in order not to be stuck on bad muddy roads sometime soon. Здравствуйте, как дела? Все хорошо?
Comment vous allez?
Очень хорошо, спасибо, спасибо.
Are you fine?
Да, конечно, все хорошо,
Where are you
спасибо.
coming from?
Немецкий. Да.
So how is it?
Отлично, спасибо большое. До свидания. Спасибо.
Ouais, c'est comment?
Очень хорошо, работает. Отлично, только по-русски без проблем. Yeah, the end of the tarmac, and today we have 170 kilometers of pistes in front of us. The road's supposed to be pretty bad, and that won't change, I think in the next 2 days. But luckily it didn't rain. If it rains, this road is supposed to be much worse. But I think it's actually time to reduce tire pressure now. Yeah, I don't think the road is getting any better anytime soon, so. Tire pressure reduced successfully. In the front I'm running on 1.6 and the back on 1.9 bars. Indirectly it's a different feeling, it's much softer. And yeah, you basically also, have less stress on all the joints, all the bushings in the car itself. Yeah, and here we go, the first mud pits. That'll be interesting today. Probably you don't see what's underneath and it can also be quite slippery, so yeah, better be careful in these puddles. But this one wasn't deep, no problem, but I guess it's only the beginning. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, again, absolutely horrible display of Cameroon's trash situation. See these places everywhere and it's just disgusting. Burning is a bit polluting everything around, smelling absolutely horrible. And I cannot even zoom past because, yeah, the road is bad. Small police checkpoint. Will let us cross? I hope so. Will open? There we go. Not so hard. Thanks, guys. I don't know. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Cameroon. The trash is annoying me. It's everywhere. The roads are so-so. The police are massively annoying. There's some very nice people around, but also many of them I feel a bit like jealous by. They're not like Nigerians. Nigerians for me were like people that were working hard, tried to change their life, even though Nigeria is not a very, functioning and helpful country to live in. Here, not the same thing. Drinking beer on Monday morning, waiting for something to change. Of course, it's only like one small insight for me and cannot work for the entire country, but it's a bit of a tendency that I feel. Already the next police checkpoint. Oh, annoying. Bonjour.
Oui, bonjour, c'est comment?
Ça va bien, merci, et vous?
Ouais, ça va.
Super.
Oui, nous allons nous rendre pour le contrôle de la prévention routière. Ça veut dire que nous sommes là pour vérifier les papiers du ministère des Transports.
Aha.
Oui, si vous les avez, on peut voir.
Oui, bien sûr, im Moment. Er will die Autopapiere sehen. C'est la voiture? Ah, c'est moi. Ouais.
Permis?
C'est la permis. Merci, monsieur. Yeah, I checked the documents. I never quite understand why, because how should I get a German registered car into Cameroon without documents, without a driver's license? They get checked all the time. But it's a routine check, and it's totally okay if they do that. Especially if they're like this guy who didn't try to find any problems. For example, asking for a Cameroonian technical inspection, which happened to me 2 days ago. Which we cannot have by default because the car is not registered here. You can see that because of German license plates. Merci, au revoir, monsieur. But he was doing his job, that's totally fine. I mean, it's also, okay, like, even though it's obvious that I have to have all documents, like, it's good they check everybody, no matter if local or tourist, like, do your job, that's fine. But don't try to look for something to ask bribes for, make up some non-existing problems. Like this technical inspection that I was asked for a few days ago. So I decided to take a look at the weather forecast. And this afternoon, starting at around 3, I'll show you, it's supposed to rain. And rain on these tracks can be very problematic. So let's make sure that by 3, hopefully, we passed most of this track and either got on the tarmac or found a place to sleep, because I don't want to go through a quagmire of mud where you can get stuck and destroy the car. Okay, some big puddles, so let Sophie venture through first to see how deep it is. It is pretty deep and bumpy as well. Ay. I have to say, I'm not very excited about this. I don't like the look of that. It's pretty deep. There's stones, one could see it when Sophie passed through that it's very bumpy. And you don't see anything because it's all this muddy water. Okay, let's give this a try, it'll be interesting. Easy peasy, nice. I was a bit worried about the stones because I'm not driving very straight and I don't have AT tires. But it actually feels really good and pretty easy. Here we go, thanks Sophie. Easy, I have to say, the bad thing about these mud holes are that you don't see anything, but just drove through, absolutely no problem. Easy peasy, I would say even. Yeah, the water and mud doesn't want to end. So far so good, but yeah, this will go on for a while. It's quite a challenge for man and machine. Cross all this. But good to be not alone, to have a car in front of me. I can see a bit how deep the puddles are when Sophie passes. Plus she doesn't get stuck as easily and she has more ground clearance. But that actually looks pretty okay. Now let's follow her. She got a good track. It doesn't feel good. Sophie went a bit further to the right, but it was super deep. So now I'm going left and I don't know how deep it is, so let's hope that will be fine. Ay, ay, ay. Perfect, 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 perfect. Made it. Oi, oi, oi. I know that I won't go there. Oi, 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 oi. That doesn't look fun. Oi, oi, oi. I'll wait for this guy to pass to see how the puddle looks where he's driving. That looks pretty fine, but he shouldn't go further to the left because then he'll get stuck. Love traffic here. Let's see how it goes. There we go. Now it's my turn. Let's give it a try. Wait, right now it's a bit deeper, I think. But you just never know what's underneath this water. That's really the problem. It's just dangerous. You see Sophie almost vanished in the mud. But we made it. Perfect. Bonjour. Yeah, it was like 2 kilometers with many puddles. Let's see how many more to come. And the trick, I think, is to let Sophie pass in front of me so one can see a bit how the ground might be, because you see nothing through this muddy water. And then maybe still wait for 1 or 2 mopeds to pass in case you're still not sure, and you'll see where they drive, how deep they sink in. And depending if it's bumpy, you can also understand if there might be stones underneath or not. Yeah, not easy. Another, again, a police checkpoint, but they let us pass without any questions or problems. Let's do that. Thank you. Merci. Let's continue the wild ride. And suddenly it's again dry and a bit dusty even. It's interesting how some spots all the water gathers. I think because the ground is formed out of clay, just really manages to hold the water well and doesn't sink in at all. And these guys must be cutting big trees if you look at their saw. Sometimes you see these huge trunks on the trucks and it's just so sad if you consider how old this tropical beautiful wood is and how much damage must be done to extract the wood out of the forest after it's being cut. Yeah, we truly made it to the tropics. I mean, look at that. Green forests, mud, red earth, all the stereotypes in one. Of course, also not the best roads. Yeah, that's the LifeSaver in action. We're somewhere in a small village at the end of the world. Kyoto behind me. And oops, he's full already. There we go. And yeah, there's water. And thanks to this guy, we have drinking water now. I think it was not too hard to understand from my last vlogs that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Cameroon. It's a bit annoying in many aspects. But it's also a country where there's a huge difference if you compare the countryside with the cities. And the cities for me are like the more densely populated areas, especially along the coast also, for example. They have many negative attributes, which is quite tiring. But then if you're on the countryside like here, it's super relaxed. People make a super nice impression. So yeah, it's definitely, again, one of those countries full of contrasts. Yeah, we truly made it into the rainforest. It's not far to the equator anymore. And damn, this is beautiful. I mean, just look at it. Found a small village with a church to check that out. It looks kind of abandoned, but I don't think it is actually. It's very authentic. And the door is open. Let's have a look at that. Glaube ich. Okay, this is abandoned. Crazy. Pretty abandoned. Really like this ventilator hanging here. And then the birds flying around. Bit of dirt, bird shit everywhere. Somewhere in Cameroon. In case you wondered what the village looks like, somewhere here in Cameroon, not too far from the equator, that's how. Very quiet, very peaceful. No Wi-Fi. What do you think?
Quiet.
Quiet. Yeah, that's how the cars look like. Pretty dirty after this muddy trek. My God. Sorry, Théodore.
Ah, ça va un peu.
Un peu.
Comment va?
Ah, aussi bien, merci.
Vous allez où?
Vers Congo maintenant.
Au Congo.
Ça, c'est notre direction pour aujourd'hui. Pas trop loin.
D'accord.
La rue, c'est comment? C'est bien, la rue?
Bon, déjà, ici, là, c'est bon.
Ah, ok.
Là, derrière.
Ah, ok, alors.
Moi, ça m'étonne même comment vous êtes venu avec. Hein.
Ah.
Ça veut dire que ces trucs sont forts. Hein.
Oui, oui, c'est vrai. J'ai déjà passé...
Vous êtes
Allemand.
allemand?
Oui, oui, oui.
Mais c'est bien parce que vous causez français.
Oui, je me débrouille.
Vous
Pas
êtes
trop bien, je sais
voisin.
pas. Yeah, a nice police guy just wrote down details from our passports into his book and let us pass. And apparently the road is supposed to be better from now on. He said not so much mud anymore. I asked the officer how many tourists pass here, and if there are many, he said, yeah, many tourists pass. So I asked like how many pass per day, per week, and he said, well, actually not so many, about 1 or 2 per month, because the road is bad. So yeah, it is very remote and beautiful here. Oh, by the way, a few weeks, so actually months ago already, I entered Guinea from Senegal, and it was the toughest off-road I ever did in Théodore, and hopefully also the toughest off-road I will ever do with him, because it was really absolutely crazy. In case you don't know the video, there's a link here. Anyway, back then it was a national road, it was an N8, and guess what? Also this track, which is luckily not as bad as the one in Guinea, it's also a national road, the N17. I mean, you see the road, doesn't quite look like a national road to me, but at least there are bridges. Without that, there'll be many water crossings, and we don't have them. But a part of that is only a dirt track leading through the jungle. National road in Cameroon. First settlement for a while, well, larger settlement. We stopped to go to a shop. It's quite lively and interesting here, so let's have a look around. Okay, very short stop, got some bread. And now we're heading to a camping spot. It's only 28 kilometers from here. So I guess about 30-40 minutes on these roads. I mean, it's already like nice evening atmosphere. The sun is quite low, and since we're so close to the equator, the sunset is extremely quick. So it just suddenly turns off and it's dark. And we don't really want to drive here in the dark and look for the camping spot in the dark. So it's a small race against the time. Summer here in the Cameroonian jungle. Okay, 350 meters to go, and it looks like we are making it to a camp spot before sunset. Somewhere here in the rainforest. It is beautiful. We actually didn't make so much distance. I think we only covered about 120 kilometers on this type of tracks. So tomorrow there's still about 50-60 kilometers to go until we get into better roads. But now we are arriving at the camping spot. It should be somewhere here on the right side. Let's see if we find it. It's supposed to be hidden off the road, so it was quite nice. Because also right now there's some people walking along the road. You never know where they come from, what they're doing here. This looks pretty promising. Let's go and check it out. Some Théodore off-road, he doesn't mind. He's used to it. Yeah, not too bad, look at that. That's our spot for tonight. Nice. Okay, heading out again, the small track that we took yesterday evening. Well, pretty good night, very close to the road, but we couldn't be seen, so it was hidden. One could hear the road a bit, like children at the school right here. That's how I could hear them. Yeah, but quiet in the night, only the sounds of the jungle. Here's the school, they're happy to see us. A bit surprised, I think. Yeah, let's go. People are really nice here. These faces look quite severe. I mean, they live in the jungle. I mean, I guess they have a hard life, but when you wave to them, these severe, almost a bit scary faces, they brighten up into a bright, beautiful smile, and it's just so nice what a wave can do. Bonjour, ça va bien?
Ah, c'est bien, c'est bien.
Super.
Vous étiez à Kribi?
Oui, on vient de Kribi, oui.
Ah,
oui.
ok. Sinon, la plage, les vagues.
Oui, c'est très joli là-bas. Ouais, très joli.
D'accord. Bon, ok, on est ensemble.
Oui, la famille.
Ah, la famille va bien.
Benjamin, on dit quoi? Ben, là-bas, on boit quelque chose.
Non, vous avez quelque chose pour moi?
Oui, on boit quelque chose.
Non, ça marche pas.
C'est un jus, bière, on boit seulement.
Ah, tu me donnes une bière?
Non, toi tu me donnes une bière.
Non, toi tu me donnes une bière.
Non, toi tu me donnes une bière, toi. C'est toi blanc. Moi c'est noir.
Mais je suis le guest.
Non, toi tu es blanc.
Non, ça marche pas comme ça. Ça c'est raciste. Hein.
Non,
ça marche pas.
Non. Ça c'est la famille, c'est la famille, non?
Moi j'ai compris que normalement si on est une guest, on reçoit quelque chose. Ça marche comme ça.
Oui, c'est
que les guests, hein. Moi je suis le guest.
Ok.
Alors où est le bière?
Oui, nous sommes là. Ok, nous sommes là, nous sommes une famille.
Good news, since 2 kilometers, the road is good. Check this out. That is pretty nice. I mean, we drove already for 160 kilometers the piste yesterday and today morning, and it's not exactly nice for the car, and it's also slow. But it was extremely beautiful in the rainforest, so no regrets. But some tarmac is very nice for a change. If you like this video, give it a like, comment it, share it, and follow me please here, because I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube algorithm. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining, and see you next week.